We're back in it. Finally, we arrived at this race stage area in the gym. This is your secret lab? I guess people don't come here all that often. Back up, guys. You're gonna fall. Go stand by the edge for a second.
Huh?
Fall? Fall where? Hold on. There we go. Tsubasa shooed us to the edge of the stage, then knelt down and began pulling on a broken floorboard. Huh. All at once, the board came loose, and then a hole. Peeling back that one board had somehow made a huge hole appear in the stage. I happened to find a map of this room when I was fixing the corpse recovery drone program using the war room computer. Sort of kept it a secret all this time. I always wanted a place like this I could have all to myself. No, you made the right call. Now we have somewhere we can talk without worrying about being overheard. I'm gonna warn you, try not to be too shocked by what you see in there. Even if you are, try not to scream. It's like an echo chamber down there. Shocked? Scream? What in the world is in this lab? Well, we already know, actually. I don't know if I can explain it all that well. It'll be easy if you to just show you. This is a ladder leading down. Come on, before anyone sees us. Sure. We followed Tsubasa down the ladder and into the secret basement room. Sure enough, what greeted us at the bottom was something I'd never have imagined. What do you mean? No, we know that this would be here. I had to hold myself back from letting out a wordless cry of surprise. Inside the lab was a large machine that looked like some kind of spaceship. This is the escape pod. I'd seen it before, of course, at the end of my first 100 days here, but I never expected to see it here like this. Yeah, I was shocked when I first saw it too. I know it must be the pod you told us about. Is there any chance you can get it working now? I thought of that, but it's no good. It's locked up tight, and there's no way to get in. We could probably force it open. We can't exactly go into space with a damaged door. We must have security measures to stop anyone using it before day 100. That's the only time we're allowed to leave the school. Well, we can think about the pod later. Let's concentrate on the suit for now. Do you need any machinery from the metal shop? We can go get it for you. No, I should be fine. There's plenty of gear in here for me to get started. I looked around the lab. It was full of miscellaneous machines and equipment, probably stuff Tsubasa had brought in already. There were also a lot of weapons for some reason. I figured I'd make those and keep them here for emergencies, just in case we ever need to hole up in here. I've snuck some food supplies in too. Help yourself if you get hungry. It's a real stronghold down here. It'll make for a perfect HQ for the anti-sponsor alliance. So, how are you going to investigate the suit's capabilities? You got any experiments in mind? You basically want to know how to break through the suit's defenses, right? The fastest way to figure that out is to try a bunch of stress tests and see how it holds up. By testing its resistance to stretching, pressure, elastic, and plastic deformation, we can start getting a better idea of its fracture toughness. Deformation? Fracture? Some of those terms were lost on me, but at least one of us knew what we were doing. Okay, well, let's get started. Figuring out the suit's weakness is only the first step. Once we've done that, we're taking the sponsor down. We spent the rest of the night testing and analyzing the suit any way we could. The next morning, I made my way to the leisure lounge, where the sponsor was loafing around as usual. Ah, Takumi Samino, what are you doing here so early? Did you miss me? You could say that. I wanted to see you anyway. Do you have time to talk? Hardly a respectful attitude to take towards someone in my position, but I'll allow it. You are one of my most accomplished hunters, after all. Hunter? Me? No need to be modest. Just take a look. The results speak for themselves. The sponsor gestured to one of their bees and brought up a display of the leaderboard.
I honestly didn't expect you to gain this much of a lead so quickly. The advent of a dark horse like yourself makes this game that much more exciting.
At some point, I made it all the way to number 2 in the rankings. Hiroko had been at number 1 all this time, but now she's dead. I was catching up. You made impressive contributions to my little game. I was just thinking you deserve some kind of reward. A reward, huh? since we're here, how about you play a game with me? Very well, if that's what you want. What shall we play? As I said before, I'm grateful to you for becoming such an accomplished hunter. I'm even willing to turn a blind eye if you ever want to bend the rules a little. That actually helps a lot, because what I want is a duel to the death. I'm going to fight you, and I'm going to win. And then, I'm ending this stupid game of yours once and for all. So, it comes to this. Very well, activate your class armor and Hemo-Anima. Attack me all you want. Your sword is no more threat to me than a blade of grass. The sponsor clearly didn't consider themselves in any danger. They stood there radiating absolute confidence, knowing that nothing I could do would hurt them. Nice of you to be so laid back about it, but I won't be attacking with my sword. I'll be using this crossbow. I brought out a crossbow Tsubasa had made with the Gift-O-Matic. Normally, using a conventional weapon like this would be pointless, especially against an invincible enemy like the sponsor. But fool, what are you thinking? Turning something like that on me. Such insolence will not stand. A hunter should use Hemo-Anima. Just like that, the sponsor's confidence demeanor vanished, and they began to panic. Looks like we were right about the suit's weakness. We performed every kind of stress test we could think of on the spare last night, and we discovered something very interesting. I knew it. The suit isn't actually all that strong. It'll distort from just a little force, and it's not that much tougher than a regular protective suit. A long knife or something could probably cut through it pretty easily. That doesn't make sense though. If the suit is that weak, why don't any of our attacks work on it? Is this spare one a fake maybe? Is it actually different from the sponsor's one? No, it's the real thing. The material is the same as what the sponsor wears anyway. So why is this one so much weaker? I think it's not weak so much as built for purpose. What do you mean? Ever since I saw this suit, something about it has been bothering me. It looks like some kind of protective gear. So what is it supposed to protect its wearer from? Not sure I follow. Workers at nuclear power plants wear suits to protect themselves from radiation, right? And firefighters have one to protect against high temperatures, and divers have ones for water pressure. Protective suits are made with specific hazards in mind, stuff that's only a threat in certain environments and scenarios. And not a lot of use outside of those scenarios. Have you ever felt an actual radiation suit? They're basically paper thin. I think it's the same with the suit. It's designed to protect against one particular threat and nothing else. Protective gear for a specific threat. I desperately tried to think over what Tsubasa had said and what it could mean. What kind of scenario was this suit built for? That was obvious enough to protect against the sponsor from our attacks. The first time we fought them, we'd attacked with every bit of Hemo-Anima we could muster. But at the end of our assault, the sponsor was still standing without having taken the slightest bit of damage. It was like our attacks, our Hemo-Anima had no effect at all. And then it hit me, like a bolt from the blue. I knew what the suit was for. I knew what threat it was guarding against. Of course, the suit is... That suit is designed to repel any and all Hemo-Anima attacks. But the trade-off is that it's weak against regular attacks, isn't it? You're letting your imagination run wild. I'm invincible. Your pitiful intellect cannot hope to understand my power. The sponsor's voice was calm, but they were clearly shaken. I had no doubt we were right about this.
Hey!
I only wish I noticed it sooner. The suit only blocked Hemo-Anima attacks, not physical ones. It was such a simple weakness, but I could see why I hadn't thought of it until now. Our first encounter with the sponsor had totally demoralized us. We attacked them with everything we had, our very strongest attacks, and not one of them had worked. This person is invincible. It's no use trying to fight them. That was the idea that had been implanted in our heads that day. After sowing that seed of doubt, we all accepted that we had no choice but to do what the sponsor said. But now, we know the truth. Once a trick is exposed, the con artist behind it is finished, just like this game. I'm warning you, Takumi. Stand down now, and we can forget this ever happened. This is for my friends. I pulled the trigger and fired off 3 arrows in quick succession. They pierced the suit and buried themselves in the sponsor's body. There was no hiding it now. My attack had clearly done some damage. There were holes in the suit now. We weren't dealing with an invincible opponent after all.
We did it! Did you see Hideko? We broke through the sponsor's defenses.
Not bad, Takumi Sumino. I'll confess, I didn't think you'd ever figure out the secret of my suit. For this, at least, I must congratulate you. Gee, thanks. It's an honor. But it's your death I want, not compliments. Me? Die? Don't be ridiculous. The game has only just begun. And you're forgetting something, Takumi. This suit isn't the only weapon I have at my disposal. I still have... I heard a familiar cacophony of buzzing and beating wings as the bees flew down from the ceiling. They sounded angry. I'd broken a rule after all. I'd injured the sponsor. My suit may not be an immovable object, but my bees are as unstoppable force as ever. What now, Takumi Samino? Do you think you can defend against this? No, there's nothing I can do about your bees. If they attack now, I'd be riddled with holes and have every last ounce of my blood drained. If they attacked me, that is. That's why I'm tagging in. Good work, Takumi. You played your part beautifully. Oh, it's Yugamu. But against someone with the proper protection, things wouldn't be so simple. What? Who are you? Why do you have that suit? It's me, Yugamu Omokage. Guess you can't tell because of the voice, huh? Apparently the voice changer came as a standard with these suits. This one distorted Yugamu's voice to sound just like the sponsors. We decided to borrow one of your precious suits for a little while. It seemed like the best way to stop me getting turned into a pincushion. The bee stingers were powerful, that much was true, but that was because they'd been augmented with hemoanima. Despite a tough and grandiose appearance, it doesn't quite have the hardiness to match. The joints snap out of place if you even look at them wrong, and the stinger comes off without much effort as well. It's as fragile as life itself. But it can't be so weak. These bees killed Kurara like it was nothing. Their bodies were likely enhanced by some supernatural means when they were still alive. Supernatural. In other words, hemoanima. The suits repelled any and all hemoanima attacks. With Yugamu wearing one, the bees were no threat at all. You and that suit given us a lot of trouble. Now we're using the same technology to defeat you. You know how it is. What goes around, comes around. Insolence. This will not stand. Don't you realize who I am? I am the one who spreads death across the planet. The all-seeing, all-knowing Game Master. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut you off there. We really don't have time to listen to your final monologue. I'll take it from here, Takumi. Go. Right. We both started running. I ran for the door while Yugamu charged right toward the sponsor. The bees dutifully flew in to protect their master, but all in vain. Yugamu swatted them aside with one swipe of his arm, killing them instantly. That suit made him the worst possible opponent for them to go up against. Finally, Yugamu reached the sponsor, and then he opened his clenched finger to reveal he was holding something. All it takes is one little hole to render protective gear practically useless. So the first thing we need to do is open a hole in the sponsor's suit. Any one of these ranged weapons should be enough to do that. Right, if the suit is weak against physical damage, a gun should do the trick. I'm no marksman though. I'm probably more likely to hit my target with something like a crossbow. I mean, that still requires marksmanship. What are you talking about? What? Once the suit is torn, the sponsor won't be immune to cryptoglobin attacks anymore. That's where this comes in. Stuff this bomb in the hole, and the sponsor will get burned to a crisp. Tsubasa held up a tiny mechanical sphere. This baby's filled with undying flames. All it needs is a little impact to detonate it. It's basically a downgraded version of the one we used on Vexnus. But it could only make one, so we only get one shot at this. If one of these bombs could destroy Vexnus, they could destroy anyone. That included the sponsor, whoever they really were. We had our plan. All that was left was to assign roles and iron out the details. Tsubasa would stand ready with the fire extinguisher outside the leisure lounge in case anything went wrong. I'd use a crossbow to puncture a hole in the sponsor's suit. And Yugamu would be the one handling the most dangerous part of the plan, actually detonating the bomb. Are you sure about this, Yugamu? You'll have to get really close to the sponsor to put the bomb in their suit in the first place. If anything goes wrong, you'll be left wide open. Don't worry about that. I'm really good at ramming stuff in holes that look like they'd be too small to fill. Okay. I'm trying to be serious here. I'm gonna have to ask you to stick to the matter at hand. Sure thing, Takumi. Or you can be the one sticking it to me if you prefer. You know me, I swing both ways. Stay on topic, please. In spite of his usual devil-may-cry attitude, I could tell Yugamu was serious. His fists were clenched tight. He was determined to end this game, even if it meant risking his own life killing the sponsor. He was prepared to do what needed to be done.
Get away! Don't you dare touch me with those filthy hands!
Undaunted, Higama grabbed hold of the sponsor. He slipped the miniature bomb into the hole in the suit, and then... No, I hope it doesn't burn him completely so we don't know who they are. I want to know who the sponsor is. One metal hit, and the undying flames enveloped the sponsor's entire body. Our tormentor writhed in pain, convulsing like a crazed dancer. At some point, the sponsor's vocal cords must have been burned away. They weren't screaming anymore, just making hollow, choking noises. Even with the flames eating away at every fiber of their being, the sponsor held on to life for as long as they could. But finally, they let out one last unnatural, almost inhuman scream. The flames still licking at their body, they collapsed onto the floor. Yeah, I think that's a commander. I really think that's a commander and not a person. Tsubasa and I stepped back into the lounge, and we stood there with Yagamu, watching the sponsor burn. We didn't want to risk taking our eyes off them in case they suddenly came back to life somehow. Fear rooted us to the spot. We had to be sure. We needed to see this person die. They're really dead now, aren't they? Yeah, no one could possibly survive that. Then we really won. We won. The moment I said the words, it suddenly felt a lot more real. We'd taken down the invincible sponsor and ended the invader hunt. Yo, what the hell is all this noise in here? We heard a weird voice shouting "Gee" or something. It sounded like nails on a chalkboard. There was an explosion too. Yet this all came running in. The sponsor's death cries must have echoed all throughout the school. Takumi, Tsubasa, what are you guys doing? Get over here. That's right. You have to get away from the sponsor. Oh, of course. With Yagamu wearing the suit, they think he's the sponsor. Hey guys, you picked the perfect time to join us. Come warm yourself by the fire. Fire? But it looks like there's a person in there. Vile fiend, did you incinerate one of our friends for your sick entertainment? This has gone far enough. It is time for the holy Jumanji sword to cut you down. Wait, Kyoshika, I don't think that's the sponsor. It's Yagamu. Now you mention it, he does sound like him. What's the deal? What's going on here? If Yagamu is the sponsor and the sponsor is Yagamu, then who the heck am I? Takumi, Tsubasa, you got some explaining to do. If that's Yagamu in the suit, where did the real sponsor go? Just stay calm, okay? I'll explain everything. I took everyone through what our team had been doing, starting with me, Yagamu, and Hiroko forming our secret alliance, and how Hiroko somehow knew a way for us to get our hands on a spare version of the suit the sponsor wore. That first mission had succeeded, but the cost of Hiroko's life. Then Tsubasa had joined the alliance and figured out the suit's weakness, allowing us to put this plan into action. So, you see, we don't have to worry about scores or executions anymore. It's over. We won. I thought they'd all be happy to hear about this. We just freed them from the life and death struggle we'd been in since this game began after all. What's the matter, guys? Is it really over, though?
Yeah!
The sponsor was so strong before. It's hard to believe you killed them just like that. Right, and we didn't see it happen for ourselves. You don't think we're lying to you, do you? No, that's not it. It's just... It's more like, all this is happening so fast, and we weren't there for much of it. It doesn't feel real, you know? And I was the one who was supposed to avenge Lady Kurara. Wow, this is not the reaction I was expecting. I'm not asking for a victory party or anything, but you can at least relax now. The sponsor's gone. Well, this is a real mood killer. You guys are gonna need some time, huh? Let's call it here for the day. We can always accept our praise and adulation later. With things still feeling awkward between us and the other teams, we went our separate ways, and I returned to my room. Ding dong bing bong. Okay, so the sponsor is dead now. That's crazy.
Be ready to give your lot.
The morning announcement played just as I got back to my room. Yeah, I guess I should go get some rest. I mumbled to myself vaguely and practically threw myself at the bed. The moment my head hit the pillow, I felt a gratifying sense of accomplishment welling up inside me. We did it, Hiroko. We defeated the sponsor. All thanks to you. My grief from losing Hiroko hadn't gone away. But now I knew that she hadn't died in vain. the others would come around. They just needed time to process it. No more turning against each other. No more killing games. We can finally be a real team again. Maybe even friends. Comforted by that thought, I closed my eyes. From here on, we'd all live a fun, peaceful life. That was how I wanted the rest of our 100 days here to go. Just like the better times we had last time around. Maybe we could hold another barbecue party. Or festival. Maybe we could all go to the beach together. That would be a nice change of pace. Still imagining all those different possibilities, I felt myself drifting off to sleep. But then my doorbell started ringing. A visitor at this hour? I really don't feel like getting out of bed right now. I decided to pretend I hadn't heard. Whoever it was, and whatever they wanted, it could wait. My dreams were calling me. Alright, I'm coming. I dragged my tired body out of bed and stumbled over to the door. I opened it and...
Huh?
Yugamu, what are you doing here? Please don't tell me you want to hold another meeting. Can't we do it tomorrow? Sorry, Takumi. I think it might be a little soon for us to be celebrating. Huh? What does that mean? The sponsor's dead. We made sure of that. The three of us had stood and watched as the master of the killing game burned away to ashes. There was absolutely no way they could still be alive. The sponsor's dead alright, but the bees are a different story. But we were fixated on watching the sponsor die. They all flew off. Some of them might still be lurking in the school somewhere. But now the sponsor's not here to control them anymore. Wouldn't they just leave? The thing about bees is, they don't like to change their habitat all that much. We're better off getting rid of them here and now so they don't start building nests and breeding. Great. So now we're exterminators? I wish I could put off the job until later, but I knew I'd never forgive myself if someone got hurt because of those bees. Alright, I guess we should go look for them. How are we gonna do this? I'll handle the schoolyard and the rooms on the first floor. You take the second and third. If you hear even the tiniest hint of buzzing, get out of there and come find me. I'll put on the suit and take them out. Yugamu still had the protective suit Hiriko had gotten for us. At least with that around, there was no danger of the Hemoanima augmented insects killing us. With that, Yugamu and I set out to check the campus for bees. I shouldn't just wander around at random. I'll see if everyone's okay and ask if they've seen anything. Oh. Yeah, have you seen anything? Hey, how's it going, champ? What was that all about? Takumi, thank you so much for taking down that scumbag who killed Kurara. I'm so happy. The tears of joy just won't stop coming. You're my absolute hero now. Best wrestler ever. Instant Hall of Famer, no question. I'm not a wrestler though. Oh well, it is nice to see her so happy. Hey Moko, we're checking to see if any of the sponsors' bees are still... Moko? Raka Friar Kakra? Sis boom ba, everybody hustle. Victory! Moko might be a little too happy. I don't think I'll get any useful information out of her. Okay. Go to the courtyard. Ava sat in her cage, still looking as dejected as I left her earlier. She's probably still in shock at not being allowed her mask back. Oh, Takumi, perfect timing. For what? Kiyoshika has something she wants to say to you. Don't you, Kiyoshika? Let me push Kiyoshika forward. Sir Takumi, for avenging Lady Kurara's death, well, for my rudeness up until now, that is to say, Kiyoshika trailed off, unable to look me in the eye. An awkward silence stretched out between us. Sorry, Takumi. I think Kiyoshika needs more time to get her head together. She wants to apologize to you, but she's not sure how or where to start. It's fine. She really doesn't have to apologize. It's all in the past now. It's nice of you to say that, but this is something she needs to do before she can put it behind us. Just give her a little more time, okay? Sure, whenever you need. You know where to find me. After that awkward phase when they were calling me the Grim Reaper, I was finally back to being able to talk to Nozomi and Kiyoshika normally again. I found myself getting a little choked up. All that hard work defeating the sponsor had been so worth it. Where is he? Where's the boy? Where's the boy? Okay, you gotta be somewhere nearby, right? I just never noticed that before. Where's the boy? There is the boy. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Whoa, what's with you all of a sudden? If you hadn't ended the killing game, I would have been the one getting executed at the end of this round. By defeating the sponsor, you saved my life, Takumi. I never got the chance to say thank you this morning, so now I have to make up for that. You've given me an insignificant dust bunny like me a second chance at life. I'm eternally grateful. It's okay, Shoma, really. I mean, this was a victory for all of us. By the way, have you seen any of the sponsor's bees around today? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Doesn't look like I'm going to get any useful information out of him. The sponsor hasn't shown up here all day. Level with me, Takumi. Are you serious? Did you really kill that bastard? Yeah, I didn't do it alone though. Yagamu, Tsubasa, and even Hiroko. They all put their lives on the line to make this plan a success. And now the sponsor is gone. We don't have to compete against each other anymore. Loosen up, Takamaru. You're allowed to be happy the invader hunt is over. You idiot. I got no right to be happy at a time like this. What do you mean? I'm so damn pathetic. I pushed you away, talked all that shit about you being shady, then went ahead and let you do all the hard work and save our asses. For real, I hate myself so much. I wish I could just drop dead. Don't say that. You survived the killing game. Your life is precious. What's so precious about a life that you gotta live in shame? Sorry, man, I can't be around you right now. And hey, sorry about all that stuff. Find a way to make it up to you. His eyes downcast, Takamaru slowly trudged away. You really don't need to do that. Now let's talk to Tsubasa. What? The sponsor's bees are still alive? I only said they might be. I hope we're wrong, but we have to make sure. Can you think of anywhere they might be able to hide, Tsubasa? Honestly, I don't know if this is relevant, but since you're asking, I did hear some weird noises coming from that room on the first floor. You know, the one with the strange machines. What kind of noises exactly? It almost sounded like people talking. But there's no way someone would be hiding out in a creepy place like that, right? You know what? It was probably just my imagination. It didn't sound like anything like bees anyways. The room with the strange machines. It's probably nothing, but maybe I'll check it out just in case. Where? Let's go to the roof first and talk to Yagama. You're still here, Yagama? Weren't you going to search the first floor? I thought I'd check on Darumi before I start. She's still out cold, you know, slumbering away like an enchanted princess. I guess she must have taken a lot of damage fighting that commander. Yeah, not just physical damage either. She did murder the only person she's ever cared about with her own two hands, after all. Right, there's no other way out of that situation. Darumi still killed Hiroko. Maybe she was in shock, staying unconscious to avoid dealing with the guilt and pain of that act. You gotta wonder what effect Hiroko's cryptoglobin is going to have on Darumi going forward. It's gonna be a real blast finding out. Everybody seems to be okay, but I didn't get any hints about the bees. The closest thing would be what Tsubasa told me about that room. She said she heard people talking inside. Maybe the bees buzzing and wing beats just sounded like voices through the door. I made my way to the weird room to check it out, just in case. What I saw there was... What the fuck? I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The strange sound behind the door wasn't bees. It was a sponsor, who was supposed to be dead. And there were two of them. How? How are they still alive? If I don't stop them, the killing game will start all over again. But I can't fight them alone. I'll go find Yagamu first. I quickly whirled around, running for the exit. However, I was suddenly tackled and pinned to the floor.
Hey! Let me go!
I can't let them kill me. If I let them run loose in the school, more of my friends will end up dead. I need to get away and tell everybody they're here. Oh, shit. I felt a sharp blade in my nape. Did I get injected with something? as soon as I felt it. My vision turned hazy. My consciousness started to fade. No, I can't pass out now. Everyone will die. We have nothing to do with the invader hunt. I heard someone mutter those words near my ear. Or at least, I thought I did. Whoa. Okie dokie wa. Day 32, huh? Alright. We'll continue on next time. I'll see you then.